there's not like the pressure of the world pushing down on them or anything like that. They are happy to be here.
And speaking about kings, I spent yesterday I ended up catching up with Jason Shearer, our current king. He's a 2-time king. I was trying to do a little interview blip with him, and he was kind of right in the middle of something, so I just hopped in his motorhome and had like over an hour conversation, just talking life, talking racing. And Jason Shearer is a great person to be here in the sport, and that guy's gonna be hard to beat on race day. But we have 5 kings. It's gonna be hard to beat those guys. But we have a few new cars that I checked out. Paul Horschel has a brand new car. I walked around Tom Way's new car. Those 2 guys are going to be exciting to see tomorrow in qualifying, and even more exciting to see on race day.
You know, as we watch the Jumbotron right now, the fans at home are looking at this as well. You see all the drivers in the fire suits. Obviously, you know which one of the drivers. They're walking up and down the cliff. I'm going to call them cliffs because that's basically what they are out there.
And this is very similar to where we raced the shootout last year. There's a little waterfall section, and it's going to be exciting to see. Dave Cole and Clyde Bynum with SRRS said they wanted to make a course that was very technical. That way horsepower may not play a big difference because, like I said earlier, we have the Bramhall buggy with over 1,000 horsepower and then Jesse Haynes with roughly 100 horsepower. So it's going to be exciting to see how this works.
They're allowing the drivers to walk up and down the course and just scoping out the course and checking out where the rocks are and the boulders that if they hit them and kick them wrong, will they move one way there, or can they actually bounce over them and stay stationary? I mean, they're checking out the course without a doubt, and you can see how these guys, before they get strapped in, they're doing their homework.
And you can see those flags. We have, KMC, Action Sports Canopy, Holley, EFI. You can see the wind is playing a picture tonight. So it'll be interesting to see if that affects anything or not.
The only way that I think it could, if it's windy enough, is some of these, they're called rock bouncers, and that's for a reason because some of these things have a tendency to bounce like crazy up into the air. And at that point, probably they might catch it a little bit, get thrown one way or the other. But it's like, we got Scott Douglas's Jeep up here on display right now. And I've been at short course events in the Midwest where it's been so windy off of some of these jumps, a crosswind, that where he takes off, or where these guys are taking off from the jump, that's so windy that the truck, a 4,000-pound truck, gets moved about 3 feet to the side on where they land from where they took off. So anything's possible out there if the wind is strong enough. And we're in the desert right now, so it's windy enough.
And while we wait for the start to get, while we wait for the start, we're going to pay a couple bills. We'll be right back to action after this.
Go inside. Cozy up to the fire. Stay warm. Some call that a nice winter day. We'll have to agree to disagree.
Your bearings shoulder the burden whenever you tow, haul, or stomp the gas. AMSOIL delivers powerful protection for bearings and other critical components so you can drive with confidence. To demonstrate, an independent lab put AMSOIL synthetic motor oil head-to-head against a leading competitor in a 100,000-mile test. AMSOIL provided far superior wear protection and kept engine bearings looking like new. Get your truck the protection it deserves at amsoil.com/auto.
Steel at polyurethane coating is proven protection. The stainless steel formulation shields against corrosion and protects against the toughest terrain. It's weldable, so there's no need to remove the coating. Just weld right on it. Go to steel-it.com for more.
Go further. Go safer. Gasoline transfer tanks for Jeeps, SUVs, pre-runners, and chase trucks. Tanks made in the USA, backed by a lifetime warranty. Includes an easy-to-use shaker siphon that transfers over 2 gallons per minute. Proven tough in the deserts of Baja, the trails of Moab, all the way to the race course. Venture further. Visit TitanFuelTanks.com today.
And welcome back here to Hammertown. Myself, once again, Scott Rain, along with Miles Hasselquist. We'll bring you all the racing action here tonight. And Miles, there's been a lot going on already. Here it's Monday of a week. You think it's the start of a racing action, but we've been here since Friday afternoon, and it's been nonstop all since we got here.
Yeah, the 2019 Can-Am UTV race, we had qualifying on Saturday, and the big race on Sunday where Mitch Guthrie Jr. went back-to-back kings. So that's huge for those guys. I was able to chat with him quite a bit, and Senior was so pumped for Junior. It was pretty cool to see the father-son duo on that thing. And it's only been 2 days, but it already feels like it's been a full week, and the week is just getting started. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of action, and we'll see what happens. It's going to play out pretty good, I think.
You know, there's something that's really cool. It's like for all the fans back at home, this is for you specifically. It's go to our website, go to ultra4racing.com, click on the merchandise tab. You can order any 2019 KOH apparel or merchandise right now, all week long, in fact, and it'll be shipped right from the lake bed to wherever you're located across this globe. So before it gets sold out here in lake bed, make sure and go to the website and order something. 2019 KOH merchandise or apparel.
Yeah, I've got a few of those shirts, and that's about all I wear anyway. So Roxy's here
Every
on site.
single picture I see you on Facebook or all your social medias, it's something either Nitto or something KOH, man. It's
that's
awesome.
about all I wear. But yeah, no, we got a lot of cool stuff, so definitely check out the merchant tent. And if you're here on site, we do appreciate it. But back home, share it with your friends. Put it on Instagram, ultra4racing.com/live. And it's going to be a fun week. Tonight, the party's about to get started, Scott.
Yeah, we've got somebody back in, I guess the production truck right now, monitoring everything on our website. And you know what? For all the fans back at home, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your hometown. What you think of the KOH, how the action has been, if you've been able to tune in prior to this, and what you think maybe we can improve on something. Who knows? But let us know where you're from. And particularly, it'd be kind of cool. We might be able to even call them out. Who knows?
Yeah, I've got a pretty good crew from my hometown in Paola over in that area. Thank you guys for coming out. We're going to have some fun.
Really? You've got that many friends?
Well, they're not friends, but I know them.
Jesus.
And then we got a few. I just got Cody Boyle and Josh Abbott. They're out of Texas. They're tuned in and watching. So there's a lot of people here on site and back at home. The Shootout's always a crowd favorite.
Yeah, there's something about when we have our production company is absolutely phenomenal. The videos they pull out with, I mean, we're talking like music videos, action videos of the racing action. They're going to be out probably in 2 weeks after the event, and it is absolutely phenomenal. And so there's something about the Shootout videos being at night. You see the flames from the exhaust. You see the smoke out of the tires. Everything is so accentuated in the dark in those videos, and somehow they're able to pull out music that you've never heard of before that is perfect if we have our first car hitting the course.
And I believe that should be Jack Porter in a rock bouncer. And you can just see how big those rocks are hitting that Holley EFI rock section. And these things have probably 700 or 800 horsepower. And it looks like the right front quit spinning. That's going to be a tough break for him. Yeah, the right front is not turning, so he's got something broke up there, so there's no way he's going to be able to bounce up there. So tough break for Jack Porter, but he's not quite done yet. We don't know if he knows what's going on.
It's so hard to be able to tell you what the angle of the course is from where they're at. But, man, oh, man, I'm telling you, that is a severe angle that he's trying to climb.
And you can see how loose it is. With that front not pulling, he's digging some huge holes, so that's going to play effect for the guys later behind him trying to make it up.
Yeah, I remember Dave Cole was saying something that he wanted to create a course that he thought was almost impossible to climb. But the thing is, these guys out here, nothing is impossible, and they'll try anything. I mean, you know this, the rock bouncer category better than anybody. These are the crazed maniacs of KOH.
Yeah, these guys come out here all the way from the south, from the East Coast. You can watch their videos on Madram 11, Busted Knuckle. Ricky B does a lot of their stuff. It's pretty cool to see them bring those big buggies all the way out here to play for one night for hopefully a 20-second run.
So since you're so familiar with this category, tell us what's going on. in the competition? How much time do they get? What are they trying to do? Obviously trying to get to the top, and it looks like he's pulling off to the side.
Yeah, he finally got from race comms that, hey, you're out because you're going to dig out the course too much. Tough break for Jack Porter, but we still have a lot of big names out there. Joe Pierce is in the rental buggy of the Holt buggy, and they've got those brand new huge tires on there. It's going to be very interesting to see how tonight plays out. But I'm also very interested to see Jesse Haynes go up there in his little moon buggy and see what kind of see how he plays out against these high horsepower buggies.
Yeah, you mentioned one car's got the 100 horsepower or so, and the other's one out there with a little over 1,000 horsepower. I guess you kind of run what you bung. If there was ever a category or ever a class like this or an event or race, this is it. Run what you brung.
Up next should be Jason Gray. So we'll get him lined up. There he's off. And look how big that thing is. We'll see how it goes. And look how huge those rocks are. And look how loose it really is. And he's having a little bit of issues climbing because his rear tire's on loose stuff and the front's hitting that solid rock, and it's really bouncing. And we have our KMC clock on the bottom there.
It's almost like they got to back up about 30, 40 feet. Yeah, there we go. And get a run at it. And hopefully you don't bounce backwards when you hit that.
And now we got the speaker on our camera working. You can see how much they're hitting the throttle. He got it on 2 wheels but saved it, and he's still hitting it hard.
But it's interesting enough, this isn't anything that these guys haven't done before.
And they're used to a lot of mud back home, so with all this dry traction is pretty interesting. But these rocks are huge out there. He's heating up the tires, really working it over. See him steering left and steering right. But look at that rear section. It's getting dug out tremendously, so that's only going to make it tougher for the other guys. He's getting a little too far right, going over, puts it in reverse, and saves it.
I can't help but think that these rock bouncer guys are able to probably be able to get in a full-blown monster truck and be able to run it. Because they know how to handle those big tires.
Does a huge wheel stand. I believe those are those 54-inch Mickey Thompsons he has on there. And you can see that huge rock he's diffed out, throws it in reverse.
Oh, left rear flat tire. The tire's going down in that left rear.
Look how dug out it's going to be. This hill is going to be tough to climb.
Oh.
There's a great shot of the Holley EFI flag. The wind has died down just a little bit up there. We've had some crazy weather this week, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
You know what? I think he's just going to nail that throttle until someone blows the whistle. Okay, your time's done. But you know what? You never know. And all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, it'll hook up and grab you and pull you up top.
And look, those are 54-inch tires just digging some holes. So there he stands it up, over, backwards.
See, look, he's not lifting. He's going to end up back on his wheels.
Jason Gray putting on a show for the fans. So tough break, but he had a lot of fun doing it. We'll get the Hammer King safety crew out there, make sure everything's okay, get him back righted so we can get some more
did
action.
he pop a radiator? Because there's a pretty good amount of steam blowing out the front.
And look how many people are out there watching these guys. See, all those vessels are all either safety crew or media, getting everything covered for you guys.
Is that Ian that's out there calling the live event?
I believe Ian was heading up there. I didn't see the hair yet. But look at all those lights everywhere. There's the Jeep JL. So we will be live in the morning at 8 a.m. for qualifying for the 4400 block. And just like today, Jason Bunch was earlier in the day and left a lightning time. And guess who's early in the morning tomorrow? Cody Addington. So I assume he'll do very well and put a good time down that it's going to be hard to beat.
You know what? I really like what Cody Addington has done during the offseason. He has been so active on the social medias. He's talking about, he's posting pictures of what they're doing. he's not bragging about anything, but it's like, you know what, watch out, guys, I got something cool. And then he's got people talking about it. There's all this kind of interaction on the social media. So it's almost like you know the guy before you don't know the guy when the season starts. I mean, you've known him for a couple of years, but
yeah, I chatted with him quite a bit just last night.
Yeah, he's so active on the social
He's very humble.
medias.
He's kind of blown away where he's came because he started back in KOH in a bone stock Toyota and finished the Everyman Challenge. And then Dave said you can race the 4400 class in your Toyota, which he did. He finished, but he was out of time. And then he stepped up on a Dan Trout car, a solid axle machine, and then him and Lauren made a deal, and he's got the Red Dragon, and he's going to be a fun one to watch. He's really stepped his game up the last year.
Yeah, people thought that Lauren Healy was a kind of driver. His driving style was kind of hanging it out on the edge, pitching to the corners, just being overly aggressive, because that's his driving style. Well, guess what? You haven't watched Cody yet, especially in that car. And the thing is, it's a tried car, it's a proven car, it's a winning car, and he still hasn't, gotten his driving to the capability of what that car can do, and he's already incredibly fast.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun to watch. So tough break for Jason Gray, but it was a pretty good show. Looks like we have our first female competitor of the night, Collette Claiborne. So Collette Claiborne should be our next competitor. Looks like she is in more of a stock vehicle. And after those 54-inch tires just dug those holes, it'll be very interesting to see how that first bump hits. All those lined up in the King flags. This is the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout, brought to you by KMC Wheels, King Shocks, and Action Sports Canopy. And we've been using those canopies quite a bit because we've had some rain out here. So getting the course cleared, hearing through the PCI radio, we should be underway here in just a moment. Collette Claiborne. She helps up with, she's a volunteer and part of our recovery crew, so it's fun to let her come out and have some fun with us, take a break from her job. Looks like the man himself, Dave Cole's over there chatting with her, making sure everything's good. He is the owner of Ultra 4 and King of the Hammers.
It's amazing how this whole thing got started way back, 2004, 2003?
I would say 06 was the first OG13.
No, I think was it earlier? I thought it was like a year or so earlier than that, because it was like 2007. I'm sitting in the boardroom of the race series, off-road racing series I was working with at the time, and the president of that series wanted to know what the heck is this guy doing out in the middle of nowhere, drawing all these thousands of people, all these hundreds and hundreds of competitors for a week. And we're looking at each other around the table going, we have no clue. And to see where it's at now, it's like triple and quadruple from where it was back then.
And Colette's on course. We'll see the KMC clock. There it is. And that's a Cherokee-based machine. And she wheel stands it up, carries the front end up and over. That'd be very intimidating with those rear wheels where those big tires just dug out that. Because the bottom's very loose. Does a huge wheel stand, but keeps her under control.
Let me kind of throw this out there as I look at the Jeep in particular. Can you run, say, like 40-inch tires in the back and maybe like 32s in the front?
That'd be tough for gear ratio reasons, because then you'd be fighting yourself on that. So definitely not recommended on that side.
Oh, she's got no front-wheel drive.
Looks like it has kicked out. You're right. So she's digging holes before she can get it. Looks like she's sponsored by Amada. one of our big sponsors. I got a tour they're playing at the pre-show, and that place is absolutely incredible. I can hear a little bit of grinding in there, so it sounds like could have something in the transfer case. Maybe it kicked out.
Yeah, you can see her slamming it right there next to her right knee. You think there's a few choice words underneath that helmet going on about now?
Yeah, that's a tough break when you're on this camera right there and it's not doing what you want to do. And now it looks like she's stuck in neutral.
And her belt came off. All that flailing around inside.
So Colette's looking like she's struggling a little bit. Tough break for her. And you can see the Holley EFI flags blowing once again. It's kind of right there in a bowl. It's between Hammertown and Short Bus, right in a valley. So the winds have changed directions multiple times. We're in Johnson Valley, California on the south side of the state. Right here in Hammertown, it's a walk away. You can see in the distance how lit up it is over the Jeep Arch over there.
They said you gotta quit. I'm not happy about it. I thought you had.
So Colette's still struggling. Tough break for her. We have roughly 29 competitors in tonight's Holley EFI shootout. We've got a lot of big names on the bouncer side. Not too many Ultra 4s like in the past. And she's got the transfer case figured. Oh, it turned for just a second, kicked back out. Maybe she's got some linkage issues or something.
Justin Haft is actually, oh, there we go. Justin Haft is actually scheduled to come out next. Ian's having some fun out there. You can hear him yapping right now. He's having a great time out there.
Yeah, him and Jim did a great day today during qualifying. It was a lot of fun listening to that.
Look at the lights. And look at the crowd out here in front of us. It looks like it's doubled in size.
And then on screen, you can see the lights. I mean, during a normal week out here, not during King of the Hammers, there's absolutely nothing. And look at all those lights. We bring in our own electricity, bring in our own internet, and there's going to be roughly, I've heard, 70,000 people on the lake bed this week. It's absolutely insane to see where it came. My first year was back in '09, and I'll bet you there was 10,000 people, and it's just blown up, especially bringing in the T1s this year. That brings a whole new crowd. It's a lot of fun. I think they signed a 3-year contract with those guys with Toyo and Monster, so that's going to be a lot of fun for the next few years with King of the Hammers.
Yeah, this is it's kind of like these T1 drivers. A lot of them that I know, they don't quite know what to make of this, but they look at that purse. It's the largest purse they've ever run for. Anywhere.
I was talking to Cameron Steele about that exact thing, and he was just very excited to see that because, yeah, when he said he won the Baja 1000, it was pennies compared to that, and that's the biggest race they ever have. So coming out here for the Toyo Desert Invitational powered by Monster Energy, that has all these big T1 drivers pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
I bumped into Rob Mack, Robbie Gordon, and they're just excited to be here and just blown away by the purse that's actually here on the lake bed.
Which changes everything because you've got like the Baja 1000, that's got the history, it's got the aura about it. You know, there's a mystery of and kind of a mystique of racing across Baja in the dark for one thing, because everything changes. They say things move in the dark. The cactus seem to be following alongside of them, and this is a whole different animal. It's almost like a sprint race, I guess you'd say, by desert racing standards. It's like a sprint race, but that check that's being waved by Dave Cole at the end of the race, that's got these guys eyeballing that thing. So yeah, it's going to be very, very serious. They're having fun now, but come Thursday morning, it's going to be dead bone serious.
Yeah, we have Bryce Menzies and Robbie Gordon in the UTV race, and it looks like Justin Haft is taking off in his rock bouncer. We'll see what kind of line he takes. Looks like he's lined up a little bit on the left. Looks like he's got some rear steer on there.
Yeah, I just noticed that at the last second about the same time you did, and He entered into that coming in from a different angle, but finds himself in the same spot.
And look how loose it is down there. That's going to be the key effect if you can get up and over that and stop and regroup and really hammer the throttle. It'll be interesting to see. But I don't think anybody's going to be able to just straight rock bounce up there. I think the approach is too steep, and it's going to really bounce the front end too hard to get a run at it.
It almost looks like he wants to inch along the way up to the top, get those front wheels or front tires kind of hooked over the edge, and then inch up across that.
And I think the rear steer is a huge advantage on this rock face, so it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. But it's just getting more and more dug out. But it looks like there's a little bit of line more to the right that hasn't been dug out, so we'll see if somebody tries that approach or not. I believe, who was it last year that won? Was it Jeff McKinley?
I don't know. I was in the hospital.
Well, that means you were watching at home.
No. I was watching you. You remember that? I was messaging you. I was blogging with you from the hospital bed, but no, I don't even remember. I think it was called Highly Medicated.
And there he's getting a pretty
There
good
it
run.
is. See? You can't tell me that can't be done. He almost pulled it.
So Justin Haft has made it the furthest up out of everybody. And I saw a little bit of a backfire. I wonder if it died and he got it refired. So the high horsepower so far hasn't shown to be that much help. So I'm still excited to see Jesse Haynes over there with that really light technical buggy. And I believe there's a $10,000 purse tonight. Look how big those rocks are. Those are 44-inch tires, and he's still diffing out.
Yeah, it looks like he's just, you know what?
So Justin Haft pulling off course. So tough break for him. So up next we should have Julian Garduno. And then followed by him is Joe Pierce. I believe he's driving the Holt buggy. Ryan Bramall couldn't make it, but he gave it to Joe Pierce. That one's going to be, that's the 1,000 horsepower buggy I was talking about.
It's the Inglis. Inglis. It's a Coleman painted one color. Oh, no, it's a not Yeti. But if he rolls over, his buggy's pretty much safe.
What has he got in? Is that a cooler?
It looks like a cooler on top, so he's a trail rig at heart, and he likes to party. It would make me cry if he flips over upside down and crushes that thing, though.
I'm going to go as far as I can go, and then I'm going to crack one.
He's got a little different approach, and he's looking like he's doing pretty good. So Julian Garduno's putting on a pretty good show, and that shows that camera angle really shows how actually steep it is. But this is a true trail rig. Look at that.
So close. What, 6-8 inches away maybe from that left front. Be able to hook over the edge to pull him up.
And look how light the front end is.
There he goes.
On the back
there. He goes. Come on, pull it up.
Julian's putting on a show there. He's
guaranteed
bouncing all
he gets
over
the top.
the place.
That cooler's coming open, man.
Oh!
No!
Can he save it reverse? And he does. Julian Garduno putting on a show tonight at the Holley EFI Shootout. You can see the flag right there blowing. He's part of the Johnson Valley Crawlers, so he's out. This is his backyard. And so far, he's got the best run of the night.
It's like he's able to get that left front to hook up over the edge of the rock, but then that right front kind of slides off to the right and pulls him back down.
And he's he's got his line picked. He's got the line figured out. He's just got to get that lucky perfect bounce.
It's like he gets to that point, and all of a sudden the front wheels stop spinning when the back wheels, the back axles, are just gripping. Oh boy, is he calling it?
Looks like something must have shut off. The whole thing went dark. Or that looks like it's our camera. And remember, we are out here in the middle of nowhere. We bring our own electricity, our own internet, so the Hammer King production crew, the behind the scenes absolutely blows my mind. I have got zero tech familiarity, and these guys pull it off out here in the middle of nowhere. So huge shout out to the Hammer King Productions crew. Thanks for letting me be a part of this the last, I guess, 7 years now. Yeah, thanks, Tim.
When you do that, Miles, you use the whole name so he gets all the credit.
But you can't pronounce the last name. So here up next is Joe Pierce and the Hulk buggy. This thing has those brand new to the market tires. They're 46-inch and 1,000 horsepower. I'm sure Ryan Bramhall out of Kansas is sitting at home watching right now, excited to see his buggy, and probably a little bit nervous. Hopefully he doesn't tear it up.
Do you think there are any aliens up in space watching us right now going, what in the hell are those earthlings doing?
And there he is, Joe Pierce. And listen to that thing just light the tires. So much horsepower. Oh, and he dumps her over. Is he going to land on his wheels? He's still got a chance. Turn right. Takes out the Holley EFI flag. Didn't take long for that rough bounce. So tough break for the Hulk buggy and Joe Pierce. The safety crew is there really quick to make sure everything's okay. The buggy probably just got scuffed up a little bit. It should be just fine. But you drive all the way out here and run for 5 seconds, take a rough bounce, and you're on your lid.
Yeah, look how meaty those tires are. You know they're getting the ultimate grip on areas or surfaces where there's no grip to be had.
Yeah, they're brand new to the market, and it's cool to see them out here, you know, getting tested and tuned.
You know, one of the things that these drivers have to keep an eye, precaution on.
And it sounds like we got the technology to actually have a quick replay. These guys are pulling all the tricks out tonight.
Yeah, let's check out what we just witnessed.
So Joe Pierce,
in actual speed,
just wheelied up just a tick, almost landed on his wheels.
And there's the slow
and
motion.
Look at that, the wheelie.
It's hard for him to turn into something until he knows where he's at. You can't see the rocks when you're rolling down upside down, but
and you can see the orange cones in there. So he's running the RCV axles all the way around. Yeah,
it's nice that he wasn't wearing a cooler on his roof. That thing would be.
Yeah, he would have smoked the cooler on that one. So up next should be Matt Holt. He's from the East Coast, I believe. Another rock bouncer. Been following him on the social media a little bit, and he's very excited to be out here running in the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout. Brought to you by King Shocks, KMC Wheels, and Action Sport Canopies. So a huge shout out to those companies for supporting the Shootout. Without those guys, we would not be here racing in the dark.
Well, Miles, you know what? You've become kind of like a staple of King of the Hammers in the KOH series. What is the history? What got you involved in this in the first? How did you end up coming to this in the first time?
So I'm still, even now, still just a fan of off-road. You know, Ultra 4, it gets my pump blood or my blood going. I'm excited about it, and I was pit crewing back in '09, even before King of the Hammers in the XRRA days, and then with Wyatt Pemberton and the crew, and came out here to King of the Hammers the first time, blown away, and just kind of, ooh, he's taking the left line there. So Matt Holt trying a different line. He makes it up. It was a little bit far to the left.
I was going to say, when outside the flag, is that
I don't know the rules on that, but he made his shot and made it up. He's another KMC Wheels sponsored machine. Got the Warren sticker on the side. And then he lifts a right rear.
Somebody's bound to pull out the technology.
Wonder wonder how high you actually have to go down there or up there. There's the top flag, so he's still up there. Matt Holt is the first one to the top. Matt Holt gets the first one. We'll get a time for him, but the first one out of the top for the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout, Mr. Matthew Holt.
Matt Holt's time was 58.57.
So at least we do have a time now to beat. We'll see what happens and see if that changes anybody's strategy at the bottom. Because, like I said,
that's what did it all. He
left.
went outside that. He went left of that flag, and I don't know if that's. We'll find out. I'm sure Dave was right there. He's all on it.
And remember, everything myself and Scott says is unofficial, but we'll give you the best action we can get with the best.
Yeah,
these
buddy of mine.
PCI radios, we have a lot of information in our ear.
You know what? Let's take another look at this run because the whole key to the whole thing was at the start. He went a little bit less of a severe angle, kind of went to the left of the flag. He's already, he's already past the start there, almost about halfway up his run.
Heading through the King flags right there, and Matthew Holt breaks the top.
But you noticed
Of
there
the
was very
waterfall.
little wheel spin. Very little wheel spin.
I don't think high horsepower is going to help you that much. It's too steep, and if you stand on too much, just like the Hulk buggy, it's going to wheelie up and over. So we'll see. I still think it's going to be Jesse Hames as he has a clean run.
Mr. Knuckle, Matt. Raise your hand.
A buddy of mine, Robbie Floyd, who's a commentator with the Red Bull Air Races, and I worked with him for years in the Torque Series doing live stream and such, and he's been with IndyCar and done a bunch of TV stuff. His favorite thing was saying, "We are officially unofficial."
And I recognize that buggy.
Whoa!
And that is rock bouncing right there.
He's not done yet. There's no way he is not done yet. He looks like he's still able to run. The lights appear to be on. It sounds like he's running yet. Maybe just kind of collecting his marbles a little bit and getting squared away and maybe make another run at it.
Enoch Pomorski had the fun run. And like I said, that's what we call rock bouncing. That guy full throttle assault, point and shoot and see what happens. And look at that, all over the throttle, steers way right, keeps steering, keeps her on all fours, still on the trail. Look how big those rocks are. He's flinging them all over. If he can keep going, he might still have a good run. Our fastest time of the day is 58 seconds. Even with that tumble, he's making a good run. So now they're starting to see things. He breaks out the top of the Holley EFI Shootout. So we'll get some times real quick. Is it going to be close? So we do have two out of the top, both taking some different runs, and it looks like that's going to be a 110. So Matthew Holt still out front. So if he wouldn't have tumbled over, he would have definitely nailed that one, but you know, that's part of it. Look at all those lights. There's people absolutely everywhere. I hope everybody's staying warm around the Tribe 16 fire. They're actually over by the Buggy Whip tent, and they've got some swag they're going to be throwing out here any minute. So if you want some Tribe 16 swag, head over to the Buggy Whip tent.
Look at the guys as they're pulling off the course. Dave's applauding him.
So that's why people are here. That's why they get excited for this exact shootout. He put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, let's take a look at this run. Keep in mind, initially, it was just off the hook huge and a little sideways action. Big boulders being pushed down the hill. Got himself in trouble a little bit. Was able to correct it, come back to the left, and there was no problem after that.
I'm still amazed how loose it is up there on the side of that hill. Those rocks are, huge, and those high horsepower buggies are just flinging them everywhere. So it looks like up next should be Brent Harrell Jr. in another rock bouncer style. But Enoch just gave us rock bouncing 101, full throttle attempt. So Brent Harrell Jr. getting the course reset, sitting there between the King flags, should be under action here momentarily. Thank you everybody here on site, here at the Jumbotron and up at the Shootout. This is the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout, powered by King Shocks, KMC wheels, and Action Sports Canopy. Scott, you having fun so far, buddy?
This is interesting. This is really interesting. It's like I'm still amazed that there's guys coming that travel across the country, take basically a week off from work, a week off from their normal lives, tow out here from the west coast or the south for what? One time, a minute, 10 seconds,
run,
a minute, run up a hill. There's some rear steer action going on there.
And he's sponsored by Amsoil. You can see it on the roof. Brent Harrell Jr. on course. Gets the front end on there, and that his rear stuck in that loose section we were talking about that's very dug out. Holt went out the left. Enoch went up the right. But that's why they're out there walking the course before the race. The Holley EFI Shootout is proving to be a fun night. And there's people all over the world tuning in right now, and we do appreciate it. If you're on the Facebook, hit the share button. If you're on Instagram, use all the hashtags. Or go to ultra4racing.com/live.
The thing is, a week from now, go to ultra4racing.com and click on the videos, and they're going to start popping up from this event of all the different races, all the lifestyle action shots from the pits, from the campgrounds, from tonight, and they're all going to be so cool. I can't.
And we save all these videos on ultra4racing.com/live, so you can go on it right now and watch the UTV race. So next week you can watch this entire live coverage.
I'm kind of thinking there's something small missing right there that he just doesn't quite have.
The motor doesn't quite sound quite crisp there.
It almost looks like he might be running a little bit too high of tire pressure, you think?
There's a lot to be played by that, and you can see the King shocks on there. But yeah, so these are running bead locks, so you can run a lot lower pressure. He's trying to finesse on up, but it's not quite working for him.
It just seems like there's that one thing missing, something to help him out, whether it's gearing, a little bit more motor, tire pressure, something.
Brent Harrell Jr. still fighting along on the Holley EFI waterfall. And if it would have rained like it looked like it was going to do a little bit, it really would have been a waterfall. It looked nasty about an hour ago, but it blew right on over. There's a lot of people right here in front of us at the Jumbotron around the Tribe 16 fire. There's a lot of people out there by the Shootout. There's people absolutely everywhere. And even from here, I can see lights up there at Chocolate Thunder. I'm sure back door's a party right now. There's people just absolutely everywhere having a blast right here in Johnson Valley.
And I'm sure there's people in their motorhomes going, the hell with this, I ain't going outside. I know of a couple right now, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Everybody's here to have a good time.
So yeah, Brent Harrell Jr. struggling quite a bit. Tough break for him. Looks like he'll be backing off. Because if you don't beat that minute mark, it's not really worth tearing up your junk over it. So up next should be Jerry Stevens. He'll be our 10th competitor in tonight's Holley EFI Shootout. And it is confirmed through my PCI radio, Jerry Stevens is up next. Another bouncer-style buggy, and he's hot on course. He's got some of those huge tires, it looks like.
I was about to say something about that.
I believe those are some of those 54-inch Mickey Thompsons. And he's also sponsored by AMSOIL. Be sure to tune in tonight after the shootout, the AMSOIL After Dark with Tiffany Stone. It was a lot of fun last night, and they'll be doing it every night. Scott Douglas was up here chatting about it. These huge rock bouncer buggies with those big tires and this steep rock section are struggling quite a bit.
When you're running tires that large, how much does that affect the gearing?
Oh, it affects the horsepower in a huge way. So Jerry Stevens still battling out at the bottom of the waterfall and digging out that little lower section like we were talking about. And just like you were asking earlier about the huge tires, so that goes into gear reduction and whatnot, and you lose a lot of horsepower with the bigger tires. But
you can make up for that by changing the gearing, though.
Absolutely. But there's
again,
also a lot of weight in it and all that stuff. So these are some big, heavy rock crawlers.
And again, I'm looking at the tire pressures. It just seems like there's no sidewall flex, if you want to call it that.
Jerry Stevens still battling away. Bottom of the Holley EFI waterfall. Still lots of people here at the Tribe 16 fire in front of the Jumbotron. Thank you for everybody out here hanging out with us. The shootout's always a good time to watch. You can hear a little bit of the turbo blowing off there. Still spinning those big 54-inch tires, but just not quite enough. Blowing a little smoke there. Maybe it is a diesel. Looks like he's backing on off. So tough luck for Jerry Stevens. Up next, we should have Kyle Hathaway. So it's still Matthew Holt with the fastest time. I believe he's at 58.5 seconds out the top. Kyle Hathaway patiently awaiting right there at the King flag start line. It's a little brisk out tonight. The wind is blowing, but we're having a lot of fun. Watching the rock bouncers put on a show. Kyle Hathaway heading up towards the entrance to the Holley EFI waterfall. bad first bump. Backing up, getting a new line. And all those boulders, if you hit it just wrong, it bounces you off to the side. There he gets a great run. If he keeps this up, Kyle Hathaway could be our new leader. If he has a smooth run, bouncing all over the place, Kyle Hathaway has a great run heading up towards the Holley EFI finish line. There he goes. That has to be our new leader. We'll find out here momentarily. Remember, everything we do say is unofficial, but Kyle Hathaway, I believe, just took the lead.
Well, he's got a time of 1:08.75. Matt Holt still with I can see a 60.05. Josh Harris 107.86, and Kyle Hathaway 108.75.
So now we have 3 guys out the top. Up top is Matt Holt, then it's Josh Harris and Kyle Hathaway, all breaking the top run. Sounds like we're going to have another quick replay of it, of Kyle Hathaway bouncing up the Holley EFI waterfall.
I noticed that the shocks are working a little bit better. There's a tune going on, whatever you may have done, but the shocks seem to have been working better than on the prior 2 guys. So I'm thinking that there's some nice valving going on. Have it figured out.
So that's what cost him quite a bit of time, is right out the front. He had to back up so much, but that was still a great, great run bouncing up that loose rock face section.
And the thing is, the chassis was bouncing up that hill. There wasn't a whole lot of tire bounce.
And up next, it looks like it's going to be Dennis Large. And then following him is going to be Jesse Haynes. I'm excited to see both of these guys run. Dennis Large getting ready to take off. Course is clear, making sure with race ops.
Good job, brother, good job. The new leader right there, guys.
That's Dennis Large making the entrance to the waterfall. He's trying to crawl it a little bit more. Looks like he's sponsored by Yukon, just like our 4500 modified class. He's got a great run on there, being a little bit more technical.
My question for you, I mean, you would know, but it is a hypothetical question. Our first driver make it up to the top, went to the left of that flag, was a little bit less severe, completed the run. Nobody else has done that since. I mean, if he was able to do it, why is anybody else? I mean, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, there's definitely different lines that can be picked.
Trying to find that right entrance. You see where he's moved over to the right side a little bit more.
Dennis Large still trying to make it up, but can't quite make it up. First, that steep little entryway there. Trying a little bit of a different angle, it looks like, but that, man, that's a steep, steep climb. He's going to just take that perfect lucky bounce to make it up. Looks like he's a Laser Nut sponsored machine. Cody Wagner's one of our sponsors out here with Laser Nut. He'll be racing on Friday as well.
It's actually a pretty nice looking car.
It's very clean.
what's really interesting when you compare other forms of motorsports, other disciplines, you look at an Indy car, everybody knows it's an Indy car. When you look at a NASCAR, everyone knows it's a Cup car. When a non-race fans look at something like this, can you imagine the reaction in the car show going, okay, what possibly could this be? Now he's worked his way all the way from the right side at the start to the left side, and now he's got his best shot so far to make it up. But it looks like, oh man, is he high-sided?
Yeah, he's a little bellied out right there, but if he can twist around, he starts falling back. Dennis Large had to back down. He had a pretty good run there going. But he's pretty close to being timed out, and it looks like he does. We'll get him turned around, and up next, rock crawling legend himself, Jesse Haynes. He's won multiple rock champions in the Wii Rock. And remember, this is the buggy that's super small, super light, 100 horsepower, so he'll definitely take a different approach. And I really, it's not going to be Jesse Haynes lined up.
Rob Inglis.
So Rob Inglis is next. Sorry about that. Haven't seen Jesse Haynes yet, but the 009, wrong.
Yeah, did you hear him come out right from the gun? Going far to the right side of the course.
And he takes a little tumble there.
Come on. Oh,
Can he steer out? Rob Inglis takes a little ride. That first bounce can get you. So the safety crew getting a thumbs up from the driver. Looks like everything's okay. We'll get him recovered.
He's already popped the window net. And every once in a while I glance up out in front of us here in front of the stage, and again, it looks like the number of fans that have showed up has doubled from the last time I happened to look out. It continues to grow.
Yeah, the Jumbotron's a lot of fun to hang out. And there's, you can just come up, bring your beverage up here, hang out, and have a good time watching the shootout.
Miles, there's a really good angle of those, taking a look at those tires. Look at the sidewalls.
Yeah, there's a lot of lug hanging off the side.
All the way around up to the bead lock. There's just as much tread on the sidewall as there is on the actual flat spot of the tire. Let's take another look at the
Rob Inglis run.
Yeah, this run.
He was coming in hot, had a good run.
Yeah, he wasted no time. He went right to the far right side of this course. Looked real good in the beginning. Kept climbing, kept going forward, and
the
right
front end
around
was light.
here, it starts going, well, sideways for him.
And then upside down he goes on the lid.
Right there's a perfect spot for a sponsor, right in that belly pan.
So we still have we're about halfway through the pack. That was Rob Inglis that just gave us the show.
I believe it's
and
going
we'll
to
see
be,
if
Randall Key.
Yeah, Randall Key. He's a cool story from the rock bouncer world. How we doing, Gene? Always a good time seeing you. Hey, wave at everybody else. That's Gene Mooneyham. One of my favorite old guys out here.
I didn't say that. That was Miles that said that. It was not me. Dude, really?
I didn't say anything about you yet.
Yeah, yet.
But yeah, up next is Randall Key. He's from the South. He's a rock bouncer, and he's paralyzed from the waist down, so he drives with hand controls. So could you imagine bouncing up these rock hills and using the gas, the steering, and the brake all by your hands? But that does not look like we may be off on our start list a little bit. But regardless, Randall Key's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, we've had 12 cars come out and attempt to climb the waterfalls. We've only had 3 to actually get to the top.
That looks like it could be the Agnes buggy. No, Kryptonite, I'm mistaken, but another high horsepower tube buggy. A true rock bouncer. He's really throwing down the throttle. Gets upside, saves it.
Wow.
Is it going to land?
kidding
Yes,
me?
it does. Back on all 4 wheels. Is he going to turn it around and give it another lick?
Wow.
I sure hope so.
That's the luxury of having horsepower, being able to do that and knowing exactly when to nail the throttle or burp it just a little bit to be able to change the attitude of that car to get back on all. And already doesn't waste
And
any
he
time. goes
wheelies
right
up the
back.
hill on 2 wheels, keeps going, and it looks like he's
front wheel drive. Oh,
there.
it
It went.
For
So
a
it
moment
must have
there, he
popped
didn't have
out.
it. See now, once again, there's no front wheel drive. It
So it's-
kicks in and stops and kicks in and stops.
It's intermittently not working, so it's only half working, it looks like. But he's all over the throttle trying to make it up and out. And it's super steep, super loose, so you have to have 4-wheel drive. Is there something broke, or is there some
Yeah.
linkage issues?
I can't help but think if he had all 4 wheels spinning, he'd be at the top by now.
So that is Kryptonite and Agnes on the side of that rock bouncer. And you can see how hard he's pushing. That motor's really blowing. He's still giving it all he's got on the side of that hill.
Wow, and he's doing this in 2-wheel drive.
And he made it up the hard part at first.
Yeah.
So again, this is the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout powered by KMC Wheels, King Shocks, and Action Sports Canopies. So a huge shout out to all our sponsors to make this happen. We're having a lot of fun with it. And look at him just blowing off the rear tires there. And that's going to be a little tricky even just getting down in 2-wheel drive. Obviously, gravity's going to help. So it looks like he's going to call it quits, get him recovered off the side of the hill. So don't forget to keep staying tuned in tonight, because right after the Holley EFI Shootout ends, Tiffany Stone's going to be right here on stage with the AMSOIL After Dark, kind of do a recap of what happened in today. And they're going to be doing that almost every night, I believe. It's a lot of fun to tune in. So if you have not much going on, just have it tuned in the background.
It appears he may have has himself in a position where he's got problems getting down the hill now. Yep, you see our recovery crew coming out on course. Yeah, let's check out the the first run, if you don't call it that, the flip, the save, and the continue on.
Just a complete wheel stand there. Got him off cock. Got on the back end, twisted around, landed on all 4
It
wheels,
looked like
and
he
keep
threw,
on
actually threw it in
going.
reverse to help it spin around.
All that horsepower just launching up that waterfall section.
Oh, man.
That takes forever when you're just staring at the black sky.
Imagine being in that seat and all those angles and up and down and be able to know exactly where you are and what direction you're pointed in. Are you pointed uphill, downhill?
So that was Aaron Selden that just gave us the action. So there's a few guys that have not showed up tonight. So I do apologize for mixing up a few names here.
Kind of touch on what Tiffany Stone's got going on later on in the Amsoil After Dark. Like we kind of touched on it at the start of the show, so some of the fans at home and some of the ones that are just showing up now, she's got probably, I want to say, 3 or 4 drivers coming up here that are some of the biggest names of the sport, getting a word with them about how things are going so far. And I think Scott Douglas, known for 40 years of racing off-road, whether it be desert or short course, he'll be up here as well.
That's his Amsoil Jeep right behind us.
So, yeah, he's got a shop in San Diego, bought this Jeep in Wisconsin online, sight unseen, bought a, what did he say, a $45 plane, one-way plane ticket on Spirit out of San Diego to Milwaukee. They came to pick him up at the airport, and he drove this all the way back to California. Oh, now he's, what, high-sided?
They're giving that Warren Winch a workout there. Little light buggy trying to drag up a heavy rock bouncer. The recovery crew's got their workout in front of them this evening. So again, thank you for everybody staying tuned in back home and here on site, ultra4racing.com/live. This is the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout, powered by KMC Wheels, King Shocks, and Action Sport Canopy. We'll be live all week long. Tomorrow's qualifying for the 4400 Unlimited Buggy starting at 8 a.m.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of new cars out here, a lot of untested cars, excited drivers, excited but calm. I don't know if that's going to change after qualifying. Maybe set the tone for the week. I don't know, but what do you what do you think going to qualifying tomorrow?
Well, there's going to be a lot of people that want to start out front, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to save their car for race day. It's just, it all comes down to strategy. I was talking to Paul Horschel last night, and he's going to leave it all on the line. He wants that clean air out front to get his pole like he did last year. And him and Jason Shear battled all the way through that first desert lap, and then he, being in a single-seater, he had a bad bounce on a rock, tipped upside down. Jason Shear went right around him, and then it took him roughly 10 or 15 minutes to recover himself. He had to unstrap, get out, get the winch. So this year he built a brand new 2-seat IFS car. Paul Horschel is going to be a lot of fun to watch tomorrow. And another new car we were talking about earlier, Tom Ways, another guy that has been in a single-seat IFS machine. Dan Trout just finished building his brand new 2-seat IFS. Jimmy's Army has a couple new Jimmy 2-seat IFS out here. Brian Cross. McKinley's out here.
One group we haven't, and I say group with a capital G-R-O-U-P, all letters capitalized, the Gomez boys.
I was chatting with them this week. Yeah,
their pit area is what, an acre now?
They raced 4 UTVs yesterday in the Can-Am UTV race. They've got 3 4,400 cars, all UFOs on Friday, and then Raul just bought Cameron Steele's winning Baja 1000 T1 truck. He's going to be racing that on Thursday. So the Gomez brothers have a lot of fun racing out here.
Friday night, I was talking to JP. I go, do you even know exactly how many cars you have here racing this weekend? All of a sudden he froze. And he went, "7. No. 8. No. 9. No." So he kept doing this. He's like asking people around him, his crew. He's asked Raul, how many cars do we have here? He really didn't know, and there's a lot.
And there's even a few pre-runners and whatnot that they have out here. They got a lot of crew out here. They're always a fun bunch of groups to watch. And then
I tell everybody that hasn't met them yet, you're going to hear them way before you see them.
They're a lot of fun.
Just follow the giggling and the laughing and the good time. Just follow wherever that is, and I'll take you all the way there.
We've got 4 two-time kings out here: Randy Slauson, Lauren Healy, Eric Miller. And then we have a 3-time champion, Shannon Campbell. So it's gonna be fun to see how this plays out this week.
Yeah, the Campbells have had a hell of a week so far. Coming out of the UTV event during qualifying, Bailey and Whalen, what was it, 1/100th of a second separation in qualifying.
In their
so they started
UTVs.
side by side for the race, and then at the race itself, Whalen finished second, and Shannon, what was fourth, I believe, fourth. So their numbers are so similar. And is that driving style? Is it preparation of their cars? I mean, how is it they're able to be so competitive with each other, to say nothing of what they are like with the rest of the rest of the field?
There's so many strong competitors out here this year. You can't count anybody out on race day, because when the helmet goes on, strategy goes out the window, and it's just full-on racing.
And it's not always just the teams and the drivers competing against each other. All these manufacturers keep score as well. The guys from King Shocks, Fox Shocks, they compare, okay, how's our guy doing? They keep score. These tire manufacturers, same thing. How's our guy doing out there? They're all keeping score. So that's kind of cool as well.
And I believe up next is Jason Bartram with the huge buggy whip lights on the back. Looks like that's another 4-seat trail rig getting ready to head out.
Jason Bartram at the line, now headed for another driver going to the far right side of the course. Do you think that Dave went up there to the competitors that have yet to go and say, okay, we're not going out to the left, we're not going outside the flags? I mean, again, I'm wondering why nobody else has gone that far to the left as our second place Matt Holt has done it. I think he was the first one to climb to the top.
So Jason Bartram still putting that long wheelbase buggy on the right side of the waterfall section. Using every piece of real estate he can.
The thing is that as the driver's in that cockpit, he can't see the ground. He's looking up at darkness. He really can't see what's in front of him, except maybe, 30, 40 feet up in front of the car.
Yeah,
Other than
especially
that,
when you're all belted in. Yeah, the
you're looking
visibility is very restricted in there. And then if you take that bad bounce and the front
right now,
end's so light.
he's looking at sky. And he's hoping he's finding traction.
And there he goes. Jason Bartram making it around. Took a little bit of time, but he's hopefully going to make it out the top. Let's take a hard right there. Got to make it right between those two King banners. Jason Bartram with a pretty good run. He had a little bit of battle at the beginning, but we have our fourth competitor out of the top for the Holley EFI Shootout. So I believe that's a minute 26 run for Bartram.
There he goes, got that whoop out. Get that whoop out of the water. And the light bulb. I think he's the first guy. Music's playing now. Oh, who got the music on? Is that the kids in the back? Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look at that. Got the pass.
Well, Jason Bartram kicks off a time of 86.63, 1.26.6 for the run. 1 minute 26 seconds and 0.6 of a second run.
That still has Matt Holt out front with the quickest run of the day, sub 1 minute at 58 seconds. Thanks again, everybody, for staying tuned in. Ultra4racing.com/live. Whether you're here on site or back at home, get on our King of the Hammers Facebook, hit the share button, get on the Ultra4 Racing Instagram, hit all the hashtags. This is just the beginning of a fun week of racing here in Johnson Valley, California. Sounds like up next is Chris Kaufman. Looks like he's in a very small buggy, so he'll be a lot more technical of a driver. Chris Kaufman up next for the Holley EFI Shootout. Brought to you by KMC Wheels, King Shocks, and Action Sport Canopy. The Shootout's always a crowd favorite. There's a lot of people here, right here in front of the Jumbotron. A lot of people on site up there at the waterfall. Just this side is Short Bus. So Chris Kaufman patiently awaiting there at the King Shock flag. Getting the timer reset, making sure the course workers are out of the way. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll kick off the 4,400 qualifying. Then we'll have the Power Hour tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Sorry, Power Hour is tomorrow at 4 p.m. That's Chris Kaufman in a home-built buggy there. Just a good old boy trail rig. Taking the right line at the Holley EFI waterfall.
It appears he has the traction until he gets just to one point, and all of a sudden the front end bounces up and he loses all that momentum. Oh.
So Chris Kaufman still trying to pick the right line, get the right bounce. Because once your front end gets all the way up there and your rear end starts to climb, the front end gets very light. Gets a little bit tippy there, but gets her back down quick enough. Backing up, picking a new line. Chris Kaufman struggling a little bit there at the bottom, but he's starting to get a little wheel spin.
It almost appears as this car right here is too light in weight to get any traction, to get any run at this hill.
Looks like we should hopefully have about 10 more buggies to go. Chris Kaufman doing a little front dig there.
Oh, look at, he lost his rear drive shaft. So he's got no rear wheel drive. You see it right here, that little dark line. Yeah, you can see it flopping around now.
Yep, tough break for Chris Kaufman, lost the rear drive shaft.
It's
No help, he's got this.
it's a good thing if that's going to happen. If it was the back of the drive shaft that came out instead of the front. I've had that happen way back in the day in the dirt track late model that I used to run. The front came out and it shot right up into the floor pan, and all of a sudden I looked down and this thing's doing this, come right through the floor. Yeah, it was an eye-opening experience, to say the least.
Looks like he's going to be able to crawl out of
Yeah.
there. So Chris Kaufman, tough break for him.
Creep off the course.
Here's what I know about them Oregon boys, though. Realize that they were back up and running in about 30 minutes. Getting something else. Those guys don't quit.
Still got quite a few names on the list. Still have some action to be brought to you. And then following the Holley EFI shootout will be the Amsoil After Dark. Like you were saying, Scott, there's going to be some big name racers in here chatting with Tiffany Stone.
How hard are you on the hill? Don't go to the ground.
Sounds like up next is going to be Andrew Zahnmiller.
Oh, my eye! On the firework, I shot for a second there. I was back in Memphis. I got stuck and covered. Yeah, we play that game in Memphis all the time.
The wind is definitely still blowing. It's starting to chill off a little bit,
Starting.
but at least that wind blew, or that rainstorm blew
Oh,
by,
boy.
because that looked pretty nasty there for a little bit.
Wasn't
we got lucky
looking
there.
good. Where it went, I don't know, but it disappeared on us.
Looks like we got somebody else with some light whips. So far, that ain't helped a lot.
And there's a very, very huge, not large, huge staff that either volunteers that are out here or part of the staff of Ultra 4 Racing to put this on. And I think the most valuable one to us right now is Stephanie Prater. She literally takes care of us from the moment we get here to the time that we leave. Bringing us meals, bringing us something to drink, constantly, basically our runner, and like our mom, she really takes care of us. So Stephanie, I'm not sure if you're able to hear us right now. She's running around taking care of somebody else probably at the moment, but thank you so much.
Yeah, we
for
really
taking care of
appreciate
us.
everything she does for us.
Yeah,
But-
if it
and
wasn't
on-
for her, we would never eat, we would never drink probably because we're up here.
But on the waterfall is Andrew Zahnmiller right now. Another trail rig rock style buggy.
Is he wearing a hockey helmet?
There's a lot of people out here having a lot of fun.
That's old school, man.
They definitely chose a hard course.
Oh, whatever that was.
That bang always hurts.
Oh.
There he
Oh,
goes,
man.
tumbles over. Andrew Zahnmiller upside down. Can he get on the wheels? No, he can't. We'll have to get our Warren winch over there, get him tipped back over. Andrew Zahnmiller takes a rough bounce. Still gets the thumbs up. Zahnmiller's okay.
No, that's the co-driver. Happened to be alive.
So the recovery crew's definitely been busy, so thank you so much to the Hammer King safety crew out there. The Tribe 16 crew has been very busy keeping wood in that campfire. We do appreciate that, and everybody else out here in front of the Jumbotron.
Well, so far we had 16 cars attempt a run up the waterfalls. Only 4 have made it.
And it's still Matthew Holt with the quickest time of the day with a 58.5. Looks like we still have 8 guys that are registered. We'll see if they all show up or not. Some of the names:
Whoa.
Corey Hawkins, Jason Moon, Cody Wagner. He's Mr. Laser Nut himself. He's the sponsor for the Ultra 4 Western Series, so huge shout out to Cody Wagner and Laser Nut. He'll be competing here shortly. Adam Ringer, Brent Harrell, Aaron Miller, Steven Robinson. He raced in the UTVs as well. And then Steven Rogers. Hopefully they all show up to the line. Blows a little smoke, but it looks like Zon Miller's car is going to be okay to fight another day.
Yeah, there's more than likely no engine damage there. It's just that for the car was upside down or outside, and all the oil is supposed to be in the pan. Now has flown to the top of the motor, which is actually at the bottom. They flip it back over, fire it up, boom. All that smoke gets burned up, spit out the exhaust.
It'll clear up and be just fine, I'm sure.
Yep. Plugs ain't looking too good right about now, but now see where I think where you're from, I'm pretty sure, but where I'm originally from, we like that because it takes care of all the damn mosquitoes that are usually around at the time.
Don't have to worry about that out here with the wind and the cold in the desert.
From what I understand, the cold weather that you guys are getting, that's going to pretty much takes care of the ticks and the mosquitoes.
Yeah, we got hit hard there in the
off-season.
Midwest a couple weeks ago.
Corey Hawkins is the next driver at the line, ready to come out. We'll see how he attempts this. Come on, man. Someone go left. Someone go way left.
It looks like that could be a Toyota
Yeah.
truck, trail
Yeah.
rig, American flag off the back. Corey Hawkins taking off, low horsepower machine, and this is where it all started.
Very tall, very skinny tires.
He's going to try to crawl right up the middle, or they dug out with those 54-inch tires. Sounds like it even could be a manual. So that's very similar to what Cody Addington started.
Oh, lost the
looks
drive
like
shaft.
Yep, rear drive shaft. Tough break for Corey Hawkins.
And he lost it from the front. Ooh.
So tough break for Corey Hawkins. So far, it's still Matthew Holt out front for the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout. Sponsored by KMC Wheels, King Shocks, and Action Sport Canopy. So again, thank you. A huge shout out to those guys for bringing you the Shootout. Without them, we wouldn't be racing tonight. Sounds like Corey Hawkins. We're going to do a quick replay of that and see when that rear drive line snaps.
Yeah, you might be able to see right when it popped. Still there now, still hooked up. There it goes.
All the weight was on the rear end and it just let loose. Off the transfer case side.
The elevator unloaded the suspension, tires were kept spinning, came back down, the tire still spinning, and it snapped it right off the front.
Yeah, all the weight, all the traction was on the rear end.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So tough break for him, but it looks like we'll get him off course. You can see the drive shaft just banging over everything. Up next will be Jason Moon in another trail rig. That's an old K5.
Wow. Man, talk about crawling speed, huh?
And I think I saw that bone through hammer down, and that thing sits really high. So it's going to be tough for this steep rock section. Looks like the right rear is not spinning.
Yeah, that
So
didn't take
Jason
long.
Moon not going to make it too far up that waterfall.
Do I hear a turbo kicking in?
He's got some power somewhere. Can't see from this angle, but I believe the right rear is not.
Yeah, I think I
Putting
saw
any
that
traction
too
down.
earlier.
He's still trying to throttle through it. Looks like he's going to back on out. It's a tough break for Jason Moon. Nope, he's going to give it one more run.
Looks like he may have lost. No, he still has. Man, did I see dust kick up from that right rear?
He got all over the throttle there for just a second. He's hugging the Holley EFI flag over on the right side of the waterfall section. Huge wheel stand
wow.
by Moon.
And there goes
Oh,
his front drive
yep,
shaft.
he lost the front shaft there. Tonight's being hard on parts, Scott.
Yeah, it's. He had one wheel rear drive. So once again, he had all that power, front tire spinning, bounced up in the air, stayed on the throttle. When he bounced onto the ground again, stayed on the throttle, and that's what snapped the front.
Looks like he's gonna be able to back on up. Yeah, look how huge that buggy is. That thing sits way up in the air. And he's got the parts in his hand. Give it to him so he can take it back to camp and rebuild it. So we're going to do a quick replay of Jason Moon when he takes that wheel stand and pops the front shaft.
Yeah, you should be able to see here real clear. He bounces up in the air, stays on the throttle. There's
Huge
the bounce,
wheel
comes down,
stand.
still spinning, and you saw sparks from underneath there when he landed. And snaps the back
U-joint.
portion of the front drive shaft off. Yeah, there you can see the flopping around inside there.
Great job for the Hammer King production crew.
So
Getting a
tough
replay
break for
to us
Jason
so
Moon.
soon.
Let's be ready for our next driver to come out.
And that should be Cody Wagner. We'll see.
Another one of the guys out there that seems to be driving a lot of different vehicles. Called off his name more than a few times over the last few years, huh?
Yeah, he's raced King of the Hammers quite a few years with us. And like I said, he is our Cody Wagner with Laser Nut is the Western Series sponsor for the Ultra 4 Series, and built all the trophies all last year and all of this year. There's Cody Wagner on screen with his moon buggy, crawling away. 4-wheel steer, super light. And he has his own compound out here. He rock crawls all over Johnson Valley. So if he can keep going, there he goes. Look how good that thing steers on the side of that hill. Those copper wheels shining in the lights. He races a lot in the We Rock series. So this is right up his alley. We'll see if Mr. Laser Nut himself, Cody Wagner, can get out the top and beat out Matthew Holt. Look at him crab walking there, showing off a little bit.
I'm liking his wheels.
Yeah, if you can get on the throttle, Cody Wagner gets out the top. Getting a little fist bump for the crowd.
72.97.
So that should be a minute 12 for Cody Wagner. So roughly 15 seconds off the lead. Still Matthew Holt out front.
Yeah, so it puts him unofficially in that 4th spot of the 5 that cleared it.
And that's very similar to the rig that Jesse Haynes would have been driving. So maybe the horsepower of Matthew Holt was the factor there.
Well, I like the way those, what are they, bronzed or the
I
wheels?
believe they're copper.
Copper? Come on. Looks real nice, stands out on that black chassis car. Real nice. Something different. You gotta like guys that think outside the box. Kind of goes, oh, why the hell not? And it comes out looking pretty damn cool. Copper wheels and all.
I think they're copper coated. So Cody Wagner, Mr. Laser Nut, our Western Series sponsor for Ultra 4, makes it out the top of the Holley EFI Shootout. There's another rock bouncer. Huge wheel stand. Grabs reverse, gets her back under action. Looks like that thing's for sale.
That's the first thing I saw too, a for sale sign flopping around, and boy, there's aggression going on right here. 4-wheel spinning, sounds like big horsepower, screaming motor. Trying to crest that first ledge right there.
Another
wheels
huge,
way up in the air.
Huge wheel stand. Mad Ram 11 sticker on the side. So he's from the south. And a great launch there. That was the line he was looking for.
It takes one guy to figure it out, and that might help the rest behind him to see what works. Is when to nail the throttle, when to burp it, when to nail it again.
And I believe this is Adam Ringer making it out the top through the King finish line. So we'll get us a time through the PCI radio here momentarily for Adam Ringer.
Oh, yeah.
And that we have a new leader with a 5022. So unofficially in second place. So sorry, I had a little mix up on my side. Looks like Kyle Hathaway has a 34.7, Adam Ringer with a 50.2. And Matt Holt with a 58 seconds. So this should be Brett Harrell on screen in another rock bouncer style buggy.
Kind of makes you wonder, shouldn't NASA engineers be looking at these guys and kind of figuring out the next Land Rover design? I mean, these things basically are crawling over everything. Look what the moon has. Look what the last prior lunar rover looked like. Here you have it. I mean, rock bouncers, send them to the moon. They'll get around, no problem. Yeah, that was a quick one. He kind of called it fairly quick. Maybe a left front tire going down as well.
So Brett Harrell pulls off the waterfall section. So we're down to our last 3 if they make it. So it looks like Kyle Hathaway's still in the lead with a 34.7.
Look at this thing. Just, I mean, those tires look scary even. Look at the tread on that thing.
So we still have a few more to go.
Think you put those on your Jeep at home that they kind of sing a little bit down the highway?
I don't think they fit on my Jeep.
What about your AAA truck? Can you imagine being out of Glamis with those things?
That'd be pretty wild, but those are big and heavy, so for the sand, you want the lightweight. We believe this should be Aaron Miller. We're doing the best we can to keep you guys updated. I do apologize. So another big rock bouncer buggy getting ready to take off. Aaron Miller.
Boy, I wonder what the weight is in each, just the tire. Not the wheel, but just the tire, what the weight is in those things.
Aaron Miller on course. See what kind of line he takes. There's a great angle to show you how steep and how loose it really is. He's going.
Oh, did you hear that turbo kicking? Oh, sparks popped out.
Something out of the front sparked pretty good.
Don't know if it hurt the car at all, but something in the front end, man, just scraped the rocks and sparks flew out everywhere.
He is all over the throttle. Puts it in reverse, backs down, runs right over the Holley EFI flag. Another huge wheel stand. Gets on the brakes before the front end hits.
I think the name of that car is rather appropriate, huh? Cockroach? Listen to that singing turbo. Wow.
All over the rev limiter there. Giving it all he's got, trying to make up this first steep rock waterfall section. Keep going forward.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there he goes. Tough break for Aaron Miller. So the recovery team has been very busy. Huge shout out to those guys, giving the Warn winch a huge workout tonight.
You know, Miles, I gotta give it up to you, man. It's like the last couple years since I started coming around, you've really become the social media darling to the Ultra Force series. You know, it's like every once in a while, if anybody's out there is paying attention, he kind of like glances down a little bit at his phone, like, and he's got messages from the top all the way to the bottom, and it's like, okay, he races all of them. 4 or 5 minutes later, he's doing this again. They're all back there again.
It's a lot of fun.
Let's take another look at our last run.
From Aaron Miller, here's the replay from that huge wheel stand. And
now watch the front end where those sparks just pop out. I just wonder if something may have hurt in the front end.
All over the throttle, you can see the sparks there. And he should have done hard left forward, but slid down just enough. Upside down he goes.
It's hard to turn. It's hard to turn left when you got a boulder right there. And that's what probably his problem was on that point. We have just a few cars remaining. Again, we've had 17 cars come out, I believe, and only 6 have made it to the top.
So far, so good. There's been a lot of action in tonight's 2019 Holley EFI Shootout.
I'm gonna kind of touch
KMC
on what I
wheels,
started
King
with you earlier
shocks.
about your being the media darling. You're doing a hell of a job, man. It's like if there's somebody on Facebook that's remote friends of a friend that might be your friend, they know exactly what's going on just because of you. So, you know what? While we clear the course and remaining a few cars to come out and make their run, we're going to step aside real quick. Come on back. So, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself, or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
Welcome back. We got action on the waterfall section there. I believe that's Steven Robinson. He's got the rear steer working.
That's almost becoming mandatory to be able to clear some of these obstacles out there to climb the waterfalls, is to be able to have that option on your car, the rear steer.
Getting a little bit of information through the PCI radio. It looks like this is Justin Kyleman. His lightweight rock crawler. Four-wheel steer. Is he broke? The front end's only turning. Nope, looks like he just bumped the rear out of
Is
gear.
that dust sliding down the rock or fluid? That's dust, okay.
So yes, correction, on course is Justin Kyleman.
Is he got a piece of delivery sign from a car on the back of his car
Getting lots
that you
of.
put on the roof, you know?
That's awesome. Special delivery. And now
Oh,
he's making it
man.
out the top.
There he goes. He's side to side to side, kind of snaked his way up.
Justin Kyleman still making some pretty good
Oh, maybe
Ground.
get that rear steer to come back on him.
crab walking all the way across. Heading towards the King exit. Justin Kyleman makes it out the top. We'll get a time here shortly from him.
.71. 125.71 is his time.
So still in the lead is Kyle Hathaway with a 34.7, Adam Ringer with a 50, and Matt Holt with a 58.578.
All right, guys, while we get ready for the next race, let's remember, all week, guys, all week, we want you to stay safe, stay off the race course during the race. Pick up your trash when you leave. Pick up your trash tonight. Remember, this is public land that we get to use. We want to leave it better than how we found it. Yep.
I'm kind of surprised that there's this many guys out there running open face helmets. I understand they're mostly rock crawlers and such, but man, when those tires start spinning and spitting these smaller rocks out like bullets.
Looks like that's Aaron Patrick on course. He has some brand new tires. You
Yeah.
can still see the stickers.
That almost looks like a brand new car. Everything is like so shiny and straight and no banged up panels, no nothing.
Do exactly like the rock bouncers, just slower.
So another great rock crawling. He's got the four-wheel steer. See if he can ease on up this right side of the Holley waterfall. Look how tight the rear turns there. It can really give you different angles on picking your line. So Andrew's still trying to pick his line there. Has the front quite a ways up.
I just wonder if something went wrong right now because there's so many moving parts on a four-wheel steer or four-steer car that he appears to be hung up. Almost to the point where like he's throwing his hands up in the air.
Sounds like we are going to recover. He does have some issues, so he's calling it quits. So we'll get Andrew off course. Not quite sure what happened, but like you said, Scott, something happened.
Looks like there's the dark lines on the rocks. Are those is that fluid, you think, from his car when he was bouncing back and forth sideways, like the steering fluid maybe or something?
Yeah, something's going on for sure.
The way the tires haven't turned for a while now makes me think that he might have lost power steering of some sort.
So while we wait on recovery, we'll pay some bills, do a quick commercial. We'll be right back to action right after this. Sorry about the technical blip there with the white screen. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. But still, we're pulling this off in the middle of the desert. No electricity, no internet. We have to bring all our own stuff. So a little hiccup here and there. I still think they're doing a great job.
Oh, there's a big trailer in the back.
There's three trailers in the back.
With a whole bunch of gerbils on wheels, generating all this power that we're using. So if you see a trailer that kind of smells funny when you walk by and is doing a lot of this, that's all the gerbils just running like crazy inside those wheels.
So it looks like Andrew's back under his own power. Not quite sure what happened.
Well, he's only going, let's see if he goes able to go, yeah, there we go. Well, as far as rock crawling cars go, that's a very nice looking car. Nice, small, light.
Yeah, and using that four-wheel steer, you can really make it around those rock sections. It's a huge help for the technical sections on these waterfalls. So it looks like up next should be Steven Robinson in the Big Bird Bouncer. He races the Southern Rock Rare, the SRRS down in the south. Another huge horsepower rock bouncer.
You know, I got to throw this out there because you're able to go to the whole season last year. We got to thank AAA for giving you the time off to do this, man.
Yeah, I've worked there quite a while. Got enough vacation to come out and play with the Ultra 4 guys. It's a lot of fun.
And we got to thank your wife.
She
for
puts
allowing
up with
you
a lot.
play.
Yep.
So it's like for every $1 you spend on the road, you got to spend $2 on her when you get home.
I try.
That's how that works.
Yeah, huge shout out to her for
or the
putting up with
dishes,
it.
or make the bed. That's you. You know
Taking
that.
care
That's
of the
you.
kids, all that jazz.
So we got to thank AAA and Mrs. Hasselquist for letting you go out to play.
Looks like Steven Robinson's on course, and he takes off like a rocket.
There ain't no messing around there, no doubt about it.
It looks like everybody's choosing that right line now, and another huge wheel stand. It's a little too hard. There he goes. Going to keep the momentum. Nope. Upside down. Back
all the way over. Come
There's
on. Yeah.
wheels.
Ah, jeez.
Reverse. Almost had it. Stephen Robinson went for a good ride.
I don't see race fans out here in front of us. We're on headsets. We have people talking to us from the production truck. And right there at that moment, I don't know if obviously you couldn't hear it, but everybody back in the production truck was just screaming like crazy. You could hear it inside. So, man, it was just a funny moment. All the guys back in the truck were cheering him on.
But he put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, my dad always said when I was racing, if you can't win, be spectacular. That was an example right there.
Yeah, if you can't win, make the highlight reel. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for everybody here on site and back at home staying tuned in. Ultra4racing.com/live. Go to the King of the Hammers Facebook. Hit the share button. Go to the Instagram. Hashtag it up. And it's only Monday. We still have a week long of events. Tomorrow morning, firing off at 8 a.m. Pacific
We're
Standard
not done
Time.
tonight, though. We're not done tonight. We got Tiffany Stone, and trust me, she's a very pretty young lady. She's going to be up here, and she's going to be taking care of AMSOIL and AMSOIL After Dark. And it's something new that they've been doing. In fact, I think the last night was the first episode and was really successful, and they're basically going to be coming up here, huh?
They had a lot of positive feedback from
Yeah.
last night. So, yeah, stay tuned after tonight for the AMSOIL After Dark. And
So
then
as they recover our last competitor off the course, we're going to step aside one more time. We'll be right back after this with more guys climbing the waterfalls.
We didn't just test the new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology, we tortured it. King of the Hammers is 181 battery-killing miles of relentless, unforgiving hellishness. It's one thing to call yourself the ultimate power source. It's another thing to prove it. The all-new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology with up to 3 times the battery life. Unsurpassed performance built to fit today's vehicles. Optima, the ultimate power source.
And we're back here to the dry lake bed, the cold lake bed, the windy lake bed, the lake bed that Miles is on. But we've had, let's see, 25 cars that make the attempt to climb the waterfalls, and only 7 have made the top. So I think Dave Cole was pretty successful in finding a course that was going to be very, very challenging for our competitors.
And we still have a few left to go. Looks like they're having a little bit of difficulty getting the big bird back over. So
Man,
after this,
I really thought we were going to have another one make it to the top in this car here.
yeah, he gave it one heck of an effort. So after tonight, or after the shootout, we'll do the AMSOIL After Dark. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll kick off with the 4,400 qualifying. And tomorrow night we'll have the Pro Eagle Pit Crew Challenge. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll have the T1 trucks, the UTVs. Each class will have 3 or 4 vehicles involved. They'll be changing a tire and putting fuel in the car.
That was chosen by a fan vote, I believe.
I believe the top 3 of each class from last season got invited, and then there was a fan favorite vote for each class as well.
Now,
so it'll be
how
a lot
is that
of fun
going to
watch.
happen tomorrow? Is it going to be up here on stage like they do at the Mid 400?
I think it's going to be right over by the buggy whip tent.
Gotcha.
But it'll be live tomorrow evening. And then that throws us into Wednesday for the 4-wheel parts Every Man Challenge. We'll have the 4,500 Yukon gear and axle modified class. We'll have the 4600 Spider Track stock class and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class racing on Wednesday. And then Thursday is the Toyo Desert Invitational powered by Monster Energy Drink. That'll be the T1 trucks.
The hook.
That's going to be impressive to watch.
Whoa.
And there's $125,000 on the line on Thursday's big race. So that's going to be crazy. I'm more than excited for that. and then it goes into Friday's big race, the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers powered by Optima batteries. Will be live all day long. So we still have a lot of action to go this week.
Well, Miles himself touched on just a moment ago on what the whole week's worth of racing action is going to go on. This is going to be actually the live feed broadcast schedule of all those events as we get our competitors squared away. Tonight, once again, as soon as we're done right here, AMSOIL After Dark with Tiffany Stone will be broadcasting with some very, very special guests. Then again, tomorrow at just before 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going right to the King of the Hammers 4400 qualifying. Let's see, and then that goes all afternoon. Then tomorrow night at 5:30, the first ever Pit Crew Challenge presented by Pro Eagle, Buggy Whip, Raceline, and Boxo will be taking place right here in front of us. And then on Wednesday, the 2019 Four Wheel Parts Every Man Challenge, which has been very popular in the past, will be broadcast starting at 8 a.m. And then once again, another episode of AMSOIL After Dark with Tiffany Stone right up here at 8 o'clock at night, live broadcast, live streamed. And then what I think you and I are starting to get really pumped up about, the Toyo Tires Desert Invitational presented by Monster Energy will be start broadcasting at 8 o'clock in the morning. We do a little pre-show kind of thing leading into the race, kind of get a little tidbit, some of the information, last-minute stuff out there for the fans watching us at home and here on site. And then again, Thursday night, with Tiffany Stone, another episode of AMSOIL After Dark. She's got her hands full bringing these drivers up here and some of the sponsors and such, and some of the tidbits we're finding out during the week, what has happened and what's about to happen. And then what you are just geeked out about is this right here. Starting at 7:45 Friday morning, the live broadcast of the 2019 Nitto King of the Hammers, the ultimate desert race powered by Optima batteries. Are you excited, Dad?
It's going to be a lot of fun this week.
And then we're going to end it all on Friday night with another broadcast of the AMSOIL After Dark with Tiffany Stone at 10:30 p.m. And then again, the final thing, Saturday morning. You stick around for that? We'll be broadcasting for the first time the 2019 King of the Hammers Week Awards right over here in that big white tent starting at 9:30 in the morning, the live broadcast at ultra4racing.com. Are you sticking around Saturday morning for that awards, man?
I got to catch a plane, get home. I got to work Sunday.
Oh, no, really? You do realize your wife is at home right now saving all that dirty laundry for the instant you hit the ground and walk in that front door. Here it is, Miles. It's payback time.
I've got plenty to give her. Looks like they're still recovering Steven Robinson.
I almost feel like this is snowmobile weather up in northern Wisconsin right now.
Yeah, Southern California out here in the desert can bring all sorts of crazy weather.
Well, this is a crazy state to begin with because right now we're in the desert, the dry lake bed. If you look off in the distance tomorrow morning or anytime during tomorrow, you see the mountains off to the right, that's Big Bear. You see the snow caps. So have that right up against the desert. It's just, California's a nutsy state, I'm telling you, man.
And you choose to live here. It's a fun
Yeah,
place to visit.
kinda. I guess I chose. I'm getting out of here as soon as I can, though. As soon as I'm able. I'm out of California. I'm going back home where the cheese is good. Wisconsin. Boy, he must have had something happen pretty catastrophic to still be sitting there.
Yeah, not quite sure what's going on, but they're definitely working
Busted
on it.
axle, locked up a wheel. I mean, something like that. And then on top of that, a recovery vehicle has got a left front flat tire. So he's kind of struggling, worming his way around. Okay, Miles, go ahead. Check all your popular messages. Everybody that wants to say hi to you. Come on. Yep, full screen.
All in good fun. You see the wind still blowing up there. The Yukon flags are straight out.
So when are we going to see you out here as a competitor?
I would love the chance, but my budget isn't there.
You got a razor? Come on, man. I seen it. You posted pictures of you racing it out there?
It's a 24-hour drive.
Yeah.
No thanks.
There's a whole lot. The guys that have come from a whole lot further than 24 hours away, man. Come on.
I would love to. We'll see. So it looks like Steven Robinson's back under power. Looks like we have a few more cars lined up. Just got a message from Timmy Cameron. He's one of the rock bouncer legends from the Southern. He wishes he was here. It looks like a lot of fun. He's made it here quite a few years. I think he may have even won it one year. But yeah, he's sitting at home watching, missing out, watching all his friends play out here in Southern California.
Oh boy. Oh boy, we got something serious going on here. Oh boy. Hot damn. There we go. No doubt about it. Yeah, this guy's serious.
He's going for
gold
there.
Oh, do you think we got a new leader? Oh man, so close. Here we go. At the line. Whoa.
We could have our new leader.
Still waiting for the time to come down.
That was William Stone.
See, what was that time again? I missed it. 19.03.
New leader William Stone
By a long
blasting up
shot.
the waterfall.
As he drives out, I was going, I don't see what the big deal is, guys. Yeah. Been there, done that. I'm out of here.
Doing a little show from the crowd.
Wow.
And look, he drives on the wrong side of that buggy.
Wow.
William Stone, 19.03. He's giving the thumbs up. That's going to be a hard run to beat. That was perfectly smooth, bounced right up, picked his line, and ran his own race.
Let's take another look at that run. I mean, that was beyond impressive. Man, William Stone, he didn't even wait. He took off right from staging, didn't even drive up to the front. He raced up to the front.
And then just kept that perfect throttle all the way up.
You notice there was no sideways bounce. So the bouncer was had, he was bouncing forward.
What a smooth run.
Oh, not a problem.
For William Stone.
There's a couple guys going, congratulations, but what the hell?
Got another one in the King Gate getting ready to take off. That's a Jeep TJ, it looks like.
Sounds like it might. Oh boy.
That's not a good start. Taking the left line on the Holley waterfall. Trying to rock crawl his way. Backing up, taking a little bit different stab at the steep rock section. Sounds like this is Mike Bradley on course.
He may not be the fastest one up the rocks, but it looks like we may have something here.
And he's crawling up there, making a really nice little run at it.
Don't back up, don't back. Oh, not too far.
And as we're sitting here in Hammertown at the Jumbotron, the wind picks up quite a bit. Mike Bradley still at the bottom of the waterfall section. Made it up the first little ledge, but struggling. So it's still William Stone with the quickest run of the night with a 19:03. Had just a smoking run in his rock bouncer buggy.
Clock's barely had a chance to start, let alone stop on that run. Wow.
Sorry, I think it's actually William Stewart out of Tennessee with the fastest time.
I just got a message from Kerry Welch all the way from the East Coast. He's telling us that's Will Stewart.
Perfect timing. Looks like a broken rear axle.
Thanks, Kerry. Wish you guys were here. Ain't quite the same with how having a sweet voice in your ear telling us what's right and what's wrong. Instead, she's sending us text messages.
So Mike Bradley takes a tough break, but I think it sounds like Anthony Yount is up next. He's from my neck of the woods, not too far away out of Missouri.
Yeah, didn't he? Didn't we see his name?
Yeah, he raced yesterday in the UTV race. He finished, but he's in a rental buggy. So you know the old saying, drive it like a rental. We're about to watch it. Anthony Yount up next, and he is all over the throttle. He's either going to make it or he's going to break it.
He took mental notes right there.
And a great launch. And remember, these guys can qualify for the big race on Friday, so this is one way to LCQ into the big race. Anthony Yount is going to give William Stewart a run for his money. What a smoking run Anthony Yount has going on right now. This is going to be close. Is it going to be William Stewart or Anthony Yount?
Oh, man, 22.14, 22.14 for for Anthony. And, man, I thought it was going to be a little bit quicker than that. It appeared to be, but we're so...
So we've had 2 smoking runs by William Stewart and Anthony Yount. Both of them had great, great runs.
And the thing is, I'm starting to wonder, another guy that nailed it right from the start. I mean, he didn't drive up to the bottom of the rocks and then take off. He did it right from the start. I'm starting to wonder if that might be the way to go and have that momentum built up by the time you get there. Have that speed, that momentum, and kind of take that last second risk of hitting those rocks the first time and launching.
Sounds like up next is Joey Weber. There's Anthony Yount in the rental buggy coming on down the Holley EFI waterfall. Doing a little crab walk showing off. Again, you are tuned in to the 2019 Holley EFI Shootout, powered by KMC Wheels, King Shocks, and Action Sports Canopy. Thank you again for everybody staying tuned in. Ultra4racing.com/live. Tune into the King of the Hammers Facebook. Hit the share button. Get on the Ultra 4 Racing Instagram. Up next, Joey Weber. So on the screen you see Joey Weber, and I just found Levi Shirley brought him up on stage. What do you think of tonight's action on the shootout?
Oh, it is absolutely incredible. There is so much good runs going on there. I mean, it is absolutely incredible.
And you qualified today in the Legends class. How was that run? You threw down a pretty good run?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And look at Joey Weber up over backwards, back on his wheels. Joey Weber putting on a show and back. Is he going to call her quits? That was a huge wheel stand, upside down, straight over backwards. What a great, great run by Joey Weber. That was awesome, wasn't it, Levi?
Oh, that was that. I hope he's not planning on racing on Wednesday or Friday.
So, yeah, back to qualifying today. How was you had a pretty smooth run. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was really good. We actually got an opportunity to run again because the window net on the passenger side came open.
So was that Aaron's fault or what happened?
That was all Aaron's fault. 110%. You're supposed to check those things. We all have a checklist. We're supposed to go through them.
Well, I'm glad to see you up here. Thanks for coming and say hi. You got your big race on, or a race on Wednesday, and then the big race on Friday. So it'll be good to see you up there. Thanks for coming up and saying hi. Thanks, Levi.
Thank you.
Looks like this is Wes Keene on screen. So Wes Keene took a first little stab at it and then backed up.
Would you kick them out right away? You could have called this.
He got a little camera shy, but it was good to get up old Levi up here and chat with him. So we believe that was the last car of the Holley EFI shootout. So what a great run we had. So it seems like it's going to be William Stewart first, Anthony Yount second.
Well, we want to thank everybody for watching us here tonight, both at home and here in front of us on stage. Please stick around both at home and here in front of the stage, as we got Tiffany Stone coming up here in just a moment for AMSOIL After Dark and all her special guests. Some of the biggest names. I think one of them just walked off stage, but she's going to have a couple of the biggest names up here in all of off-road racing in just a moment.
Again, I'm Miles Hasquist alongside Scott Rain. Thanks for staying tuned in. And we will throw it to the AMSOIL After Dark here very shortly. We're going to sign out. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
We didn't just test the new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology, we tortured it. King of the Hammers is 181 battery-killing miles of relentless, unforgiving hellishness. It's one thing to call yourself the ultimate power source. It's another thing to prove it. The all-new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology with up to 3 times the battery life. Unsurpassed performance built to fit today's vehicles. Optima, the ultimate power source.
Your bearings shoulder the burden whenever you tow, haul, or stomp the gas. AMSOIL delivers powerful protection for bearings and other critical components so you can drive with confidence. To demonstrate, an independent lab put AMSOIL synthetic motor oil head-to-head against a leading competitor in a 100,000-mile test. AMSOIL provided far superior wear protection and kept engine bearings looking like new. Get your truck the protection it deserves at amsoil.com/auto.